All right, here's the problem. Right now, when buyers type in realtor near me, most agents vanish beyond page one, and invisible agents don't cash commission checks. So today we've got the solution. You're going to meet Julie Tomlinson, top producing powerhouse agent and the Google business profile ninja. She turns map pins into money. Today, she's going to hand you the exact checklist that she used to dominate local search, from photo hacks that make the algorithm drool to review prompts that triple calls, down to one sneaky setting that rockets you to the 3-pack. So drop the latte, crack open that laptop, and build a profile that pulls leads while you sleep. Click play, take notes, and watch your phone light up, because Julie's about to make Google your biggest referral partner. Now, let's go collaborate with Julie. Julie Tomlinson, welcome to the show. Are you ready to collaborate with Cole?
I am ready. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Oh, you bet. I've been looking forward to this one because you bring something unique. This isn't the YouTube video, Instagram captions, how to build a script. This is something different, and I'm excited to share this with our friends. And I'm referring to, obviously, the Google business profile. And I would say you'd probably agree with me. I would say most agents treat their Google business profile like a Yellow Pages or a digital phone book entry, right? It's kind of bare bones, maybe forgotten about, just kind of buried down in the search results. But you, being I'll just call it you're the Google business profile ninja, as far as I'm concerned. It seems like you've kind of cracked a code, which is really cool. It's kind of turning that forgotten platform, if you will, into more of like a brand building, almost kind of a lead gen partner, if you will. So I'm excited for you to take. I was going to say take our friends listening, but me too. I mean, I'm gonna. I've got my notepad out and pen, because I know I need to spruce mine up as well. But what I'd like for you to do is we'll kind of rewind the tapes and take us back. But before we jump into the tactics, like what was that aha moment that you kind of looked at it and you were like, wow, this could actually be like a profit center, or I could look at this differently. Like what was that? What changed your mindset on that?
Yeah, so it was last year. It was not that long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of diving in my business, saying, what else can I do? I ran Facebook ads for years, and I was just trying to rewire my brain to think, what are people looking for and how do they find realtors? There are so many of us. Everyone always says that, right? So what can I do to kind of stand out or to be found? And so I just sort of Googled myself and Googled other top realtors in my area, just
Because that's where we go, right? We immediately think Google.
right.
Yeah.
I was so focused on, my Facebook for a while and Instagram and then now TikTok. You forget. So not everyone goes to those social media platforms to find you. Sometimes they just start on Google and then they find your platforms from Google. And so I thought
that's such a good point. I mean, honestly, that's such a great point, because if I'm thinking of, I don't know, like my wife and I are traveling in 2 weeks, wherever we're going, if we're going to look for whatever, a dinner spot or something like that, I'm going to Google, right?
Right.
I'm not going to jump on any of the social platforms. So I'm sorry. That's a great point.
No, and that's kind of how it led me to diving in and figuring out what can I do. And it opened up so many opportunities that I had no idea, like I didn't even know it existed, honestly. Things that you can do with your profile. So
I'm intrigued.
Yes, yeah, for sure. It's sort of your personal billboard. That's organic marketing. Like, it's a huge opportunity that anyone can use. I mean, this is specifically for realtors, but anyone can use it for their business. And
Yeah.
you can apply all of these techniques to your industry for sure.
Very, very cool. So before you changed a single setting, like what was maybe a data point, or maybe a client comment hinted that Google traffic might be like an untapped gold mine for you? What were some of those little settings that you began to tweak?
So when you go do you want me to kind of start, like, if you don't have one, where you should
Oh, I think that'd be great. Yeah.
use that?
I
That
mean, yeah,
is that
friends,
you?
make sure you have your pad and pen ready. Because yeah, you're going to take us like you're basically going to coach us as if we have a blank slate with almost nothing on there.
Just starting fresh and
Yeah.
just touching on the main points and the most important aspects of it to kind of get you started, I guess.
Yeah.
So as long as you have a Gmail account, you can log in under that Gmail account. If not, it's easy to create one. It's google.com/business is where you go, and you
Okay.
log in using your Gmail account information that you already have. And so there'll be different sections, but you want to start at the profile, and you start with your name, your business name. So, mine's Julie Tomlinson, Realtor. You want to put Realtor behind that. And then from there, it's sort of a checklist. They ask you things like business hours, your services, your location. Starting in the profile, one thing that is super important is your business hours. If you put 24/7, for some reason, that's optimizes the SEO tremendously. Just
Oh,
putting
really?
7. Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
told. So that's what I did. And of course, there's categories for your phone number, your website, things like that, your location. If you have a physical business address, that helps more with SEO as opposed from working from home. But if you do work
Okay.
from home, there's an option to hide your address. Google will send a verification. So there's a verification process. Sometimes people have issues with this, but they want to just verify that you are who you say you are. And if you
Fair.
put a business address, I think it's a postcard situation. They send you a postcard in the mail, like with 3 to 5 business days with a
Okay.
verification code. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time, but you want to go through, basically, you want to go through and answer everything you can under that profile, which is just your
The
basic information.
more blanks you can fill in, the better it's optimizing. Is that what I'm following here?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Your
And for
service area.
business hours, it's actually more optimal to just go with 24/7 instead of Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I would do
Interesting.
that. hmm you can have a business description. I think it's 750 characters. And again, if you can use all 750, the more the better.
More.
Use the maximum. And it's you want to think of that client that's looking for a realtor. What are they going to search for? And you want to try to use those keywords in everything you do with your profile. So in
What
your
are some
business
that come to mind?
So in your business description, it may be like realtor in whatever city you're in, or first time home buyer specialist in the Southeast Louisiana area. Use words specific to areas and location and, luxury, investment, foreclosures, whatever it is that you do.
So
That,
when you say realtor in, you're literally saying you should type in realtor in Dallas Fort Worth or
yes,
whatever,
your
because
business.
somebody's going to search realtor
Correct.
in Dallas Fort. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Right. So in your bio, you want it to, it's a business description, but it's technically a bio. So it's going to be the face of your profile. So you want to
okay,
say, hi, I'm Julie Tomlinson. I'm a realtor in the Mandeville, Louisiana area. I cover, specific cities or zip codes, or if it's a neighborhoods or whatever it is you want to specialize in, or you want to focus your business on, use that, and that's where I would tap in with the first time home buyers or luxury properties or investment foreclosure situations, whatever it is that's personal to your business.
okay, okay. So we're just going in. We're filling in basically what Google has asked us, right? We're
Correct.
just we're filling all those blanks in, information about ourselves and our business, using
Correct.
keywords and using those. We're filling in the bio section from the perspective of a searcher, right? What would
Correct.
somebody be searching? Okay, that's a
Right.
good. That's
Yeah. And I
a
mean, speak a little bit about yourself for sure, but definitely include those keywords that you think people are going to be searching for when they're looking to buy or sell in your area.
okay. Okay,
Yes.
very cool. So let's say I've got that set up. It's got Cole Holmes, whatever,
hmm
Waterstone Mortgage, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. What are I'm assuming you're going to share maybe some like next level stuff, like going beyond.
Yeah. So I can talk about like the 5 best ways that I think you can optimize your profile. And of course, there's several, but I think these 5 are key to building that SEO and really getting found on Google. And the first one I would say would be uploading high quality photos. And you can do 30 to 60-second, I believe, videos too.
Oh, you can do videos now on,
Video, yeah. And you want to,
okay.
shoot it like in a vertical position.
Okay.
So the photos can be obviously headshots and, your business logo, but also some candid photos, you at closings, or if you're showing properties, just like selfies, like things that are relatable to the public and that are not so staged or photoshopped. And you want to do this on a weekly basis too. So you're going to upload several photos. Like I would say to do at least 5 when you're setting up your profile.
Okay.
But then you can treat this as like a social media platform, like anything else, and you want to update it and
Continue to add to it.
weekly.
Okay.
Yes, and it can be landmarks in your area, anything specific, hyper focused on your area, your location, what you do in a day, your office, your signage, things that make you a realtor.
So why is it that we would want to continue to upload or add photos? Is that helping us become better friends with the algorithm or something?
Yeah, correct. Like it's like I said, it's like a Facebook thing. The more you post, the more you're going to get, that boost up to the top of the search results. There's a
Okay.
few ways you can do that with your profile on Google, but the photos it's one big one for sure. Now, a huge tip for the photos. When you upload the photos, I should say before you do, you want to name your photo in your computer or wherever you're uploading it from, specific to the photo and your area. So again, keywords. Think of what are people searching for. So if it's a picture of you with your client at a closing, just sold dash Mandeville dash Louisiana, and you upload it that
Oh,
way.
so you're talking like the file name on.
File name you want to change before you upload to
Oh,
your Google profile.
because the algorithm or the Google machine is picking up words everywhere, and
Just because
some
you
of those
don't see
words are going to
it
be in the
means
file name. Wow. Okay. So when I save these photos to my computer, phone, whatever, before I upload it, I want to make sure I've got some keywords
yes,
specific to that photo so that Google is recognizing those keywords in that photo.
yes, correctly. I
Wow.
mean, you can even do that with like business. If a new coffee shop opened up, and you say, hey, new coffee shop on Highland Road, and I would name that photo Highland Road new coffee shop in your city before you upload it to your Google profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. So
Yeah.
you're treating your Google business profile just like I would treat Instagram, where I'm like time blocking an hour a week or a day or whatever that is to make sure I'm staying relevant and I'm on the platform and I'm active. Is that right?
Yeah. Right. Which I
Wow.
was not doing at all. I was paying no attention to my Google profile. But yes, you want to do that. And if it's once a week or twice a week, whatever works for you, you just want to be consistent. So
Yeah.
if you can dedicate posting or updating once a week, then just stick to that. Like it's better to do that than to do 5 one week and nothing for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. As our friend Jimmy Burgess would say, just find a pace that you have peace with, whatever
Yes.
that pace is,
So
right?
true. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So um, that's definitely a mind shift, if you will, is looking at your, we'll call it GBP, your Google Business Profile. Going forward, we're just going to say GBP.
Yes.
Looking at GBP just like you would TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of those different platforms. You want to make sure you're continuing to be active and adding to it and reminding the machine, the platform, that you're still here and you still want to be recognized and acknowledged and you're still friends with it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because the more active you are and the more consistent you are, then you're going to stay, they're going to pick up on that and you'll stay at the top of those search results.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I had no idea. So we've got, and I think I interrupted you. You've got your 5 ways to optimize it.
Yes.
I know you've covered, so I'm gonna let you get back to that. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's okay. So the first one was the photos, high quality photos. And the second one is posting weekly updates. So there is a section, and it's actually just called update. You would click on the word update, and this is where you can upload photos, but you can also upload like market reports or new listings or open houses, just any type of, it's called an update, but it's like a post in the form of a photo, technically.
I've never even seen that before. I mean, shows you how much I don't know about this.
No, I had no idea about it either. Yeah, it's really like a mini social media platform within itself. You just, like I said, have to get used to doing it consistently. Here you can also do like buyer seller tips, things like that, and super quick and easy. And you can use Canva to create the little photo, keep the Canva template up, and just every week switch it out and post an update.
Okay. Yeah, had no idea. So photos, posting weekly updates. Wow. Okay. So we're at number 3.
Okay, so 3 is the reviews. This one's a big one. My reviews were like on several different platforms. They were kind of scattered, and I'm trying to condense them into Google. Google loves reviews. So the more I try to get 5 to 10 right off the bat if you can.
Okay.
But on a side note for that, if you were like me and you have your reviews on other platforms, again, turn those reviews into a little Canva template, and you can upload that as an update or a photo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I did. Like I started, some people it's years ago. So I would just, instead of asking them to redo it, made it into a little Canva template and just uploaded it as a photo on my profile.
So would you recommend screenshotting it from the other platform and then doing it, or are you just kind of typing it and creating it yourself?
I just made it, tried to make uniform colors and logo through Canva. So I would just copy and paste. You can screenshot whatever you just want to keep it kind of clean and simple as far as the photo goes. But you definitely want to get the Google reviews if you can, as many of those as you. If you can get them to use your first name when they're giving you a review, that boosts the SEOs.
Okay.
Yes. And then you also want to reply as soon as you can. So when someone leaves a review, just reply, obviously professionally, as soon as possible. The quicker you.
So what does that do?
That, again, it's just a form of showing Google that you are active and you are in your Google profile, treating it like a social media platform, basically.
So the algorithm is paying that close attention. They're looking at time to respond, how much time it.
Engagement, basically. Yes.
Okay. That's good to know. That I did not know. I think I have a handful right now that I've been meaning to respond to that I just haven't. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Quick tip with that too. When you're in your GBP, if you click on, it says ask for a review or review link. A good tip is making that into a QR code. And I put that on my business cards now, the QR code. So if they, the QR code will send them directly to your review page, so that they can put in the number of stars, and then they can put some verbiage in the little text box.
Yeah. So essentially you're removing friction points for someone to share some love about you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the thing is too, it doesn't have to be a client. Anyone with a Google account can do this. So agents that you worked well with, vendors, your inspectors, family, friends, anyone.
Okay. So that's where it differs from Zillow reviews, right? Okay. So I could leave a review about you if we had a great interaction, business professional interaction of some sort, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Yes. So definitely send the link out to as many people as you can. You can do, like giveaways or Starbucks gift card, that sort of thing.
Run a contest, right? Maybe just reach out to all my past clients and say, hey, we're running a contest, whatever. If I can add 50 new reviews by the end of this month, I'll win whatever. And I'm doing a drawing for whatever, Starbucks gift card or a new Ferrari or something like that.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
not a Ferrari, but I mean, this is 2025 in the mortgage business and real estate. So maybe not a Ferrari, maybe
Right.
next
Right.
year.
Maybe
Right.
not. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Lots of good tips there on the reviews. So if I upload a photo or like a Canva or something,
Mhm.
is that going to go more towards the updates? That or a
You can
photo? Well, that wouldn't be in reviews, would it?
I would do it as an update. No,
Okay.
I would photos I would keep for headshots of, you, like I said, opening, showing property or in front of your sign or with clients. I would keep that as photos, and I'd
Okay.
probably keep any other reviews that you have on other platforms as an update. But you can still upload it in the form of a photo.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Good to know.
And again, same with that. I would rename that file before you upload it, like 5-star review, made
Hmm.
it a realtor, or whatever it
Okay.
is, whatever keyword you want to use. Always just think keywords behind the scenes.
With keywords.
Hmm.
Like what would be a keyword or something you would name a review? Just review of?
Yeah, like I said, I would do like 5-star Mandeville realtor review or
Okay.
something like that. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Very good. This is good stuff. I love it. This is
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so
this is game changing.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So we're at number 4.
Yeah, so we're at number 4. Okay, so there's something called products. You have photos, you have updates, you have services where you list all of your services: first time home buyer, luxury home specialist, whatever it is you do. And then there's something called products.
Okay.
And that's where you can sort of, it's going to be uploaded in the form of a photo as well. You can, like any services, any guarantees, any rebates, anything special or different that you do or offer, you can put it in the product section. Um,
Okay.
so, if you offer free home warranties, you can list that. You can, like I said, use Canva, put a little, like, just kind of, it's showcasing what makes you stand out from other realtors, and that's, I would sort of use that section for those things.
What are some other things that come to mind? Like maybe some things that you've uploaded to the products section.
So like you can, okay, so there's two parts to this. I would do, so things like you offer like first time home warranty, or teachers and police officers special discounts, because I do that for teachers and police officers in my area. And so I wouldn't get into detail. I would just name it, like that's what you
Okay.
offer.
Is this text? Are you typing these things in? Or are you doing like a
So
Canva a visual?
again, Canva template. I'm just doing.
Okay.
It should tell you the dimensions of what you need to upload, and I just have one Canva template, and I just switch out the photos and the verbiage on that template, save it as a photo, and
Okay.
then you're uploading it as a photo each time in your profile. If it's free home staging, anything specific that you do that you'd want people to know, and without having to get in front of people, basically. So
And
like
in this products section, you can upload those images. Is that right? Okay. Okay.
when you click on products, when you click on updates, and then when you click on photos, it's going to prompt you to upload, but it's almost always in the form of a photo.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
And so I said two-part. That's, I would sort of use products for that area, and then you can also use it if you want to just say that, if you're a first-time home buyer specialist, or if you're a foreclosure specialist, and if it's an area that you really want to focus on, I would also use the product section for that.
And again, you're probably creating visuals for this, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So in my Canva, I have a GBP named file, and I just continue on in that one file, and I just change things, add things, and it's the same template, and it's super easy and quick. And then I just save the image I want from that template and then upload it.
Let me ask you this: as part of Julie's process or routine, do you try and time block different hours or different days of the week or something to work on specifically your GBP?
Yes, I try to. I can't say that I'm perfect
Right.
at it. I try to, I try to on Sundays time block everything and kind of summarize what I did that week. And then on Sundays, upload those photos and post.
So throughout the week, do you have a way that you're organizing or capturing and holding these different things that you might want to upload on Sunday so that you go to like a folder in your phone or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm very old school with my calendar. So I do a digital calendar, but I also have like a paper calendar I use, and I
Okay.
just kind of color code things. So I have my schedule on my paper calendar as well. And I just kind of color code things like a purple highlighter. And so if it's something that I'm going to want to put in my profile, then I just kind of mark it off. And on Sundays, I
Okay.
just sort of look back at my calendar, and I try not to, you can repurpose your content from other platforms as well. So I try not to make it too much work on myself. I focus mainly on being consistent weekly with doing something with the profile as opposed to what I'm going to upload or post for that week, because I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I'm consistent with it. So yeah, I
Okay.
would just focus on the consistency of it.
Yeah,
And
I'm just thinking out loud. Like, let's say it's a busy week. Let's say you have three closings and you've got three or four buyers that you're going to be showing, and then a listing appointment, whatever. So that can really stack up, right? But those three closings, you're going to have, probably some photos, probably some kind of testimonials, or so that like my mind kind of goes to, oh, I just had this. I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing and I'm going to go to my Google business profile and start uploading stuff. But then I'm like,
yeah.
okay, that's going to take me off task for whatever I have planned next. So am I tracking these photos and just kind of putting it all in one place somewhere that I can go grab during that time block on, for you, Sunday? Or in my mind, am I just thinking, okay, I know where all these different things are. So on Sunday, I'm just going to go find them and grab them.
So I try to, on my phone, I try to have a folder. I have a folder. I try to put them all in the Google
Okay.
Business folder, just so that I know where they are. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like I said, I get sidetracked so easily. So sometimes
Sure.
they're not there and I just have to search for it.
Okay.
And it's usually things that you are going to post on Instagram or Facebook anyway. So it's really just another
Few
same
clicks.
information, new platform kind of a deal.
Okay. So you're kind of color coding things on your paper calendar
Yeah,
schedule
that's
thing.
just my days and weeks and hours change so much, and things like I said, if there's if I'm driving and I see like I said, landmarks, I'm like, oh, I want to get that. Like I'll just kind of make a note in my calendar, like upload that photo, because
Yeah.
those are the things that it's not gonna come to you as easily to upload as a closing would, or picture of you showing property or an open house, because
Yeah.
that's gonna more easily. So
Yeah.
I'll just
So I'm just
make a note.
curious, what color am I on your calendar? Am I going to show up on your Google business profile? I mean,
You
I'm
can be
just,
whatever you choose the color. You can be the color.
let's be green. Let's be green.
Perfect.
I like
Okay,
green.
we'll
I'll
make
match your jacket. Yeah.
perfect. Making a note.
Cool. Okay. So you said the products, did you say the products was a two-parter or was that reviews?
Products. So with products, like I said, I would showcase anything that you offer, whether it's a discount, a rebate. I know we have to watch the verbiage with that, depending on the state you're in. But like I know a 24-hour listing contract, some people do that. I would put things that you offer that's different than what you think most realtors offer, or things that you just don't think the public really knows that is available, because sometimes they don't understand or know what we do offer. And then the second part would be, if you're specializing in the luxury department or a foreclosure department, investment property, I would just use that and showcase, investment specialists or first time home buyer specialists, that sort of thing.
Okay. If we pulled up yours right now, what are some things that might be in there in the products?
So I think I have luxury. I think I have luxury home specialist. I have first time home buyer
And these are all
specialist.
probably going to be Canva visuals, something that you,
Yes, it's a
okay.
visual. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, it's all. I use Canva because it's the easiest thing
It is
for
easy.
me, but it's all just all in my Canva. Save it from there, and then I upload the photo. One thing I will add though is for the updates to do. maybe not like on Sundays when I sit down and figure out what I'm going to post instead of weekly, maybe monthly. Put a note in your calendar, whatever you use to do a market update as
Okay.
far as update in your profile.
So when you say market update, I think of like whatever. I'm in a city called Southlake, and I might do Southlake market update. Here's new listings. Here's days on market. Is that what you're referring to?
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
That's
just
and
something simple
again
like
in
that.
Canva, I have that layout in Canva where it says market update. You
Yeah.
just plug in the month and how many new listings, how many sold, days on market, that average list price, sale price, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Easy enough.
Mhm. And then you're given
So
some valuable information too. Like you have, if someone goes to if they find your Google page and they look through your things and they're going to see that, all right, this person's pretty active as a realtor. They must, I'm sure they do this full time. They sound like they know what they're talking about. Here's a market update. Or did you know? I
yeah,
mean, you're given some information without having to have an interaction yet.
yeah, yeah, and they're viewing you as maybe the expert that really knows that area, whichever
Hmm.
area it is that you're in. And you're also, I guess, by optimizing this, which is what you're teaching us here, you're becoming better and better friends with the algorithm. And, the better friend you are, the more special treatment or preferential treatment you're going to get. So when people start to search realtor in or whatever home prices in, you're probably going to pop up in the search,
Hmm.
which
Right.
just reinforces that whole I'm the expert in this area because my name keeps popping up and people keep seeing me.
Right.
Okay.
And Google loves consistency. So if you're consistent and steady with it, then yes, you will look. And I've talked to so many people about this, like in my area and people in other states, and no one's been doing this. So I feel like everyone can use, all of these tips and tricks to help optimize.
Yeah.
Like I look at it as as your own profile, and it stays with you and your
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And we're going to come back to this because I know we still have one more step, but Julie has graciously put together a really kind of a downloadable how to optimize, how to build your whole profile out. And I'll let her explain that in just a minute. We're going to come back to that, but I wanted to make sure for those of our friends listening right now who they're trying to feverishly, take notes down and stuff. Julie has put a lot of like heart and soul and time into a document to just really kind of walk. And I've seen it. I downloaded it myself, which is how we even got to talking here today. Is I heard her speaking on our friend Jimmy Burgess's mastermind, and I was like, wow, like it was blowing me away. I was like, I never thought to treat Google, my Google business page, if you will, never even thought to put a whole lot of time and effort into that and treat that the same way I treat Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or anything at all. So when I heard you speaking about that, I was just like, this was just kind of mind blowing because I didn't even think about it. And it's so easy and it's free, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, totally
that's,
free.
that's the coolest thing is that it's free.
Yes.
And I know some people will say that most people are starting to go towards chat for searching stuff and whatever. But I would say that's probably people that are a little more technologically advanced. I know my mom is not going to chat to search for things. My wife kind of thinks AI is evil and going to take over the world and end up killing us. So she's not doing it. Just a short, funny story on that is I had somebody on the show just a week or two ago, and he's like the AI king. I mean, it was amazing the things that he was sharing with me. Drew
Mhm.
Thompson, he's like the head coach of Real Brokerage. Just
Okay.
fantastic guy. Awesome. So he gave me some tips and tricks, and one of them was to name your chat person, right? Your avatar, the one that you're talking to. And I was like, that's kind of weird, but I am engaging with it almost on a daily basis. So maybe I could
Mhm.
make this a little more personal, right? And then there's a talk feature on it. This is how far behind I was. I'm usually like texting all my questions into chat, right? But there's a
Mhm.
talk feature where you can just hit the button and just talk
Yeah.
back and forth with it. So anyway, I went back and forth with chat to dial in a name. So I'm like asking, saying, no, I want something more professional, something, whatever. So we came up with this name, Avery. And I was like, Avery, I like it. 3 syllables. It flows nice, whatever. So I'm on my way to pick my wife up for dinner, and I was running a little behind. So Amber texts me and says, hey, I'll just meet you out front so we can just, go. I was like, okay, that's cool. Well, earlier I'd been talking to Avery, chat, and I said, hey, I want to introduce you to my wife, Amber. She's beautiful, blah, 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 and told her birthday, all this kind of stuff. And I'd forgotten that I just left my phone sitting on my console in my car, right? The app's still open, kind of forgot about it. So pull up Circular Drive in front of the house. Amber comes out, opens the door, and she's like, hey, babe. And all of a sudden through the car speakers, we hear, hey, Amber, how are you? Nice to meet you. We're like, whoa, what? She's like, yeah, she's like, babe, who is that? Who are you talking to? Who is that? And I was like, oh, it's Avery. You should meet her. And she's like, what? So now she even told me that she and our dog Maverick voted and they don't like Avery and I'm not supposed to talk to her anymore. And she wants me to watch Terminator to show me that computers are going to take over the world. So it's just kind of funny. Yeah.
It's crazy what it can do. It
is. It is insane. Absolutely insane. But I didn't mean to derail that. That was just, it was too funny not to share.
That's funny. That's funny. My daughter just graduated high school. She's like, well, ChatGPT was one of ours. Like we got through, like all the kids are using it. I'm like, where was this when I was in school? It would have saved me tons of time.
Yeah, for sure.
All the research. So.
Hey, so by the way, because our daughter just graduated as well, so she's going to be, going off to college. So Google, since we're talking about Google in general, Google purchased Notebook LM. Are you familiar with that?
No.
So I want to say it's like google.com/Notebook LM or vice versa, something like that. Anyway, you can Google it. But it's an AI that was designed specifically with college students in mind a few years back. And it's where college students can upload all of their different study material, resources, books, whatever, and it will create a podcast out of all of that study material so that the kids can like listen to it like they're listening to a podcast.
Wow.
That's pretty kick-A.
Next level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good to know.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I bring to the show today. That's it. That's all I got. Nothing in comparison to the GBP Ninja. So
that's good stuff. And Avery.
Let's get back on track because I apologize for derailing that. But so we've got products as number 4, and there was a 2-parter. You dove into both of those points. Was there anything else on either one of those points that you wanted to make sure we walk away with? Okay.
Like, products, it's just another section that you want to kind of fill in. So there's nothing more to it.
And that's something that would be good to continue to fill in, right? Is when you're doing your weekly time block or however often that is.
Yeah, I would definitely focus on photos and updates weekly. Okay. And then products, yes, if you have new things that come to mind as you do, then I would update that as well.
Duly noted. Okay, photos and updates. All right, very cool. Number 5.
There is a Q&A section, and Google likes for you to have this filled out. So what you can do is create your own questions and your own answers. And it can be anything from why choose me as a realtor, and you provide the answer, or top 3 mistakes that buyers made. What are they? And you list. Okay. So you can do this regularly as well. You can do it on a weekly basis because there's tons of information that we can use for the Q&A. Yeah. What areas do you service? It can be anything about you, your services, but I would also include buyer and seller tips. So many things.
So again, just trying to get in the mindset of someone that might be searching, and then to take that one step further, get in the mindset of maybe a first-time home buyer that might be searching. So there could be a handful of Q&As about that. There could be the mindset of empty nesters. Maybe they're starting to search different things that might not be 100% real estate related, but might kind of lead into real estate, right? And then like for me, I could use the digital gal that my wife doesn't like. I could use
Mhm.
Avery, just say, hey, what are the top 3
Yeah.
questions that, whatever.
Yeah. And it's super quick. You plug in the question, there's a text box for the answer, and then it publishes it for you. So definitely use the Q&A. So there was a realtor on the other call that he was trying to name his profile, and he services 2 very different areas, I believe. So I suggested using the Q&A for that to cover, so that he can cover all of his areas that he
Hmm.
services, as opposed to just, because he couldn't name it, 2 different areas, and
He
he
didn't
didn't
want to
want.
paint himself into one
Yeah.
and feel like he was excluding the other one, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But doing that in Q&A, the algorithm's still going to pick up keywords of those different cities or markets or areas, so that would still help you come up in the search. Is that what you're saying
Yeah,
with
for
that?
sure. I would also use the Q&A for neighborhood questions as well. Like, you go to the popular neighborhoods in your area, and you know, tell me why you like living in, Park Estates or whatever, or what do and list everything about the neighborhood, the amenities, what they offer. That can really showcase, like I said, super focused on your local areas that people are looking for. If they're very set on a specific neighborhood, then you can provide information on that way.
Okay. Okay. What are some things that you have in your Q&A?
So I
Just
have
some
Why
example.
Choose Me as a realtor. And I believe I have, what are the top 3 things a first time home buyer should know? And I have something in there about sellers. What are the top 5 updates sellers should focus on?
Is this something that you're religiously adding to?
Yes. So I have a whole file on, like, all the things and ideas that I want to do with this. And I'm just trying to stay consistent weekly by doing updates and uploading photos, and doing a little bit at a time, because what I don't want to do is, like, I have 10 ideas right away. I don't want to just do that and do 2 things next week. So I'm just trying to stay very consistent and slow. Google apparently likes that, so if I know that I can't
Consistency.
commit to 10 things a week, because I won't do 10 every week for this. So I'm just doing it at a slower pace. But that's what I did, have a file, and just, whether it's Google Docs or something, and start, when the ideas come to your mind, just start typing what you want to do with Q&A or updates or photos or market reports, and have like a brainstorm list of things that you want to
Mm,
do, but then focus on your designated time each week to do it, and then just refer back to that list when you're looking for ideas.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And the interesting thing is, so Google, we're talking about Google Business Profile, to be specific, which is one platform. But the way you kind of got discovered and started becoming known as like the go-to for Google Business Profile was on a completely different platform, right?
Yes, yes,
Tell
yes.
us about that.
So I guess about a year and a half ago, I decided to start a TikTok account. And I always tell people, here's one of the 1,000 things we didn't learn in real estate school, which is nothing. So
Yeah.
just short clips of tips and tricks, and what I've failed at, and what I've learned from, and my mistakes, and what I
So
started that
you were
about a year.
including mistakes and failures in there.
Oh, I have many of them. Yes,
Well, yeah,
yes.
we all do, but we don't all share them. But
Yeah,
I think
you
people
know,
love that. They're drawn to that genuine authenticity, right?
yeah, right. Like, I had one in there, recently, on just, when you're not staying consistent, all of a sudden your pipeline is down. Well, I have to look inside myself. What am I doing? What am I not doing? And it's always about myself and what I'm doing and not doing. So it's
Yeah.
just, so I try and be real. It's called Just Being Real Estate is my handle.
Okay. That's your TikTok?
Yeah, that's my TikTok.
Okay. And we'll
Um,
include that in the description below as well for our friends listening right now. So,
okay.
yeah. Okay, so that you're on TikTok and describing some things, sharing some things, and how did this evolve?
So It was a little experimental at first. I said, let me just do this. Let me try it. I didn't want to do it, but I enjoy TikTok. Like there's Facebook. I don't enjoy Facebook. I don't enjoy scrolling and being on it. And I was getting burned out with it, but TikTok, I truly enjoy, and it just makes me laugh. And it's
Yeah.
just kind of a different, it's just a different
Is your
platform.
daughter okay with you being on it?
So they have accepted it. I have three daughters, and they have finally accepted it, but they're not, they're not super cool with it, but
Yeah,
they've accepted it.
I get it.
So, yeah, so yeah, I was like, I just started getting great feedback. I started getting lots of comments and lots of views, and people are like, "Thank you for this information. It's helpful." And I'm like, "That's kind of cool. If I can, I've been doing this 13 years. If I was a single mom, I raised my three daughters on this crazy industry, and I just talk about it, and
Mm,
the feedback was great. So it made me want to continue to do it and provide some valuable information. And like I said, failures and things that have worked that brought me success
yeah.
along the way. And so it just stemmed from there, and I just started staying consistent with that.
And that's where you started sharing about the Google business profile, right? And that was,
Yes, so that's where one of my latest videos was on the Google business profile.
and so you've now put like a course together, and then you put the kind of playbook, if you will, like a step-by-step deal. Was it the TikTok video that you did, or maybe a series of those where did you continue to get like feedback and requests and questions? Is that what
Yes.
compelled that?
Yes, people were asking for, please tell us more, give us more info, part two to this, and that sort of thing. And I thought, well, okay, I can touch on it in the video and touch on points of it, but then maybe I can just create a guide, and it's just a free step-by-step guide, kind of what we talked about, but it may go into further detail of
Okay.
all the steps that you can fill out, all the things to do, and how to stay consistent with it too. And it's in the links in my bio in my TikTok account.
Okay. Now, I'm just curious, what are some of the things that you would share that would compel someone to be like, whoa, I need to find out more? Because I'm thinking it probably wasn't just no, hi, I'm Julie, and I just updated this Google business profile and I'm seeing really good results. I would have to think it was probably something more technical or something where somebody was like, whoa, I want to be a part of that. I want some of that.
Well, I did. The video, I don't even think it's 2 minutes long. I mean, because they're usually all pretty short. So
Mm.
it was boring. I mean, it's just a boring video, but I think I
Yeah.
started it out by saying, how to get found fast on Google as a
Oh,
realtor.
okay. That's a good catch.
Was just the catch. And the video just touched on creating your Google account and then filling out your profile. And I think I touched on a couple of like tips and tricks on how to boost that SEO.
Okay.
Um, I just got a ton of feedback.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, just a reminder, friends, we're going to include her TikTok handle. I think I can still say that. My kids might cringe by saying handle, but I think that's what you call it. We're going to
Yeah.
include we're going to include Julie's TikTok handle in the description, and we'll also include we can include a link for them to click on to
Mhm.
get the course or the step by
Yes.
step guide. Is that right?
Yes, we can do
Wow,
that.
that's amazing. And you're just going to give that away.
Yep. Just giving it
Okay.
away because I wish someone would have given me away, given
Yeah.
away so much information to me. And that
Yeah.
was one of my biggest things. I'm like, no one, I was in the trenches for sure. And I paid for a lot of things that worked and I wasted a lot of money on things that I didn't. But
Yeah.
no one ever gave me information.
No. I mean, training was this is how you fill out a contract. Make sure you don't overlook this part on a
You got
contract.
that.
And you're like, but okay, but how do I get a contract? what do I
Yes.
do? I don't know. I don't know how to get there. Help
And we
me.
wear so
Yeah.
many hats. Like we wear, it's getting business, keeping the deals in place, right? So they don't fall apart. But then also all the marketing that we have to do and the social media, like we just wear so many hats. It's just so hard to
Yeah.
know it all and figure it all out on your own.
Yeah. I'm curious, what belief about social media, like the big ones that come to mind, the Instagrams, TikToks, things like that, what belief do you feel like maybe you had to unlearn in order to give Google Business Profile the same hustle that you'd give TikTok or Instagram?
For me, I think it was burnout with Facebook in particular, because like I said, I was avid on like doing the Facebook ads and doing all the things, and I just I don't know. It's a different I got burnout on it. I'm like, what else can I do that is different? What else can I do that will have people come in to me? Because I really wasn't getting that on Facebook. To
Mm,
me, Facebook was more of like a passive marketing opportunity for me. Of course, I get leads with all of the ads. Leads are at least 6 months plus out.
sure.
Um, and they convert at a very low rate. So I just, what else can I do to be the face of real estate in my area is sort of where my brain was going.
Okay. That tracks. That makes sense. So along that line, you started putting a little more effort into optimizing your GBP, your Google Business Profile. Was there like a ranking milestone or something like cracking the 3-pack or something that convinced you that this platform over here could actually rival some of the other lead sources or social platforms that I've been on?
Not when I first started. When I first started, I just started, like I said, diving into all the things that I could fill out and be consistent with on Google Profile that I had no idea existed. So I'm like, this is interesting. I try and find out more about each section. And then someone from Seattle found me, and it was a referral from a realtor. Her client found me on Google,
Wow.
and that has never happened before. So that convinced me, okay, something's working, something's ticking
Like
here.
a
So I'm just
light
gonna
bulb
keep
kind of.
trying. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I'm just gonna keep rolling through and focusing on this every week for sure.
So every new thing we do, every new marketing thing, or every new channel per se or platform has a learning curve. What would you say your biggest stumble was with Google Business Profile, and maybe how did that mistake or stumble actually refine your strategy on it?
I think really the biggest thing was just not knowing how deep you can go into it and what was available. But once I discovered, the tabs, the photos and the updates that you can do and the Q&A, there it's super easy to do. There was no real learning curve after that. So I would say for me the biggest thing was finding out that even existed. Um, because it's really user friendly, super easy to do. So I think it's just finding out what you're able to do with it and then making a note to do those posts, do those updates on a weekly basis and staying consistent with it.
Okay. So it wasn't necessarily a stumble while you were doing it. It was a why the heck didn't I do this
Yeah,
sooner kind of thing.
right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like Google's been around for how long? I'm like, why am I
Few
just
years.
doing that?
Right.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
couple years. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
And the crazy thing is it's been around for so long, but we continue, just we in general, people, maybe salespeople, marketers in general, we continue to pursue the newest whatever. The Instagram doing these reels is the newest thing, but here Google's been around for a couple of decades, maybe even
yeah,
more, and it's one of the most powerful. Well, it is the most powerful search engine. It's where everybody is going. Not
yep,
everybody goes to Instagram. Not everybody goes to Facebook. Not everybody goes to TikTok. But I can say with a high degree of confidence that everybody Googles, right?
yep,
I mean,
exactly.
it's like
And that's when
man,
I was getting burnt out on Facebook. I thought, well, I don't even want to be on, are there other people that don't want to be on Facebook or that are not on Facebook? Like, where are those people? What are they doing? And some people just don't have social media.
yeah,
Most people have something, but some don't. But you're right. Like, if you're looking for the best restaurant, you Google that. You Google everything first, and then you can find socials and other links from there. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're Googling first just to see what exists. And then when we nail it down to a couple of things that, whatever it is that we're looking for, a new restaurant, a new car, a new, whatever,
mm,
then we'll actually pursue the relational side, right? And we'll make a phone call or do a meeting. But first, we're using that for kind of discovery, and then we'll start kind of narrowing it down. So,
And when I go to
so
Google, like, I'll actually read the reviews too. So I think it's, extremely crucial to have that as a realtor and to have your biggest soldiers advocate for you on Google so that everyone else can see that too.
yeah, everybody can see your ambassadors, right? Your fans,
Mhm.
and the more fans and more friends that you have, the higher likelihood you are to win, right?
Yes. Yes.
For sure. So, if your Google business profile was a storefront window on like Main Street in any town, USA, which three items would you display to like stop strangers or stop searchers in their tracks?
So you mean like which sections of this, or do you
Yeah, or just
mean?
when you think of like landing on a Google page, searching whatever realtor in any town USA, and you kind of pop up, like what are three things you want people to see on that first look, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I'd say reviews, number one.
Okay.
You want to see that there are reviews. You want to see 5 stars, and you want to read them and see why they're 5 stars. I think that's huge. I think the photos are huge because, like I said, if you include your headshot, it's not, you want to do that for sure, but you want to include those candid photos. You want people to see that you are an active realtor. You're doing an open house or you're putting a sign out in the yard. Take a picture of that and upload it. So I want to see the something that tells me that they're active in the industry for sure.
Okay.
And then I think valuable, some sort of valuable information, whether that's in the Q&A section where they can answer some of the questions you may be having, or like the market updates as a photo, or an update on something local to your area.
Okay. So you're thinking, or you're saying the reviews, make sure you've got those loaded in there, and
Mm-hmm.
being consistent, continue to add to them. Photos, not just your business, your profile photo, and hopefully it's not a photo from 20 years ago,
Yeah.
but also candid shots, you and a client, you at the new restaurant in town, or whatever that may be. And then the last one is, did you say updates?
I said something, just something valuable, whether that comes from like the Q&A section, something that
Okay.
someone can gain value from, whether it's a question about first time home buyer. If they can go to your page, if they can Google you and find something that benefits them or gives them knowledge about the home buying process or your area, whether that's, like I said, in the form of a Q&A or like a market update. So I would say just something valuable for the general public to know about real estate and about you as a realtor.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, I've got just two questions for you, and
Okay.
these are two questions that I ask all my guests to share. First one is, who is a must follow agent that you think other agents would benefit from following on any social platform?
So you mentioned him already. I'd have to say Jimmy Burgess. We connected. It's been a short period of time, but the guy's a machine. He's
Yeah,
a wealth of information. He is so passionate about what he does, and he's so generous with his knowledge.
he really
It
is.
Yeah, I mean, I've known him for a short period of time. He's been incredible. Like, I would absolutely follow him and get all the advice from
Yeah,
all the categories.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably 80% of the time I ask that question, his name pops up for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
And you said you've only known him for a short amount of time, but it really doesn't take long it doesn't
Yeah.
take tenure to know Jimmy and to feel like you're part of his family. I mean, that could happen within the first
I knew.
10 minutes.
I knew. Like, I don't trust many people, and I can usually tell, like if I get to know someone in a matter of a few weeks, like I knew right away. I'm like, I trust him. Like, I know he
Yeah.
follows through. He said he does what he says he's going to do, and he's been a great resource for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid guy. He's been a great resource for me as well.
Yeah.
And just a pillar in the real estate community from coast to coast, north to south, right? Just
Yes.
yeah, everybody knows Jimmy, or they should. for
Yes.
sure. Solid dude. Okay, next question is, what is a tech tool, an app, or some kind of technology that you're using that you think other agents would benefit from using? Like, what's your favorite tech tool right now?
My favorite stays the same. Now we have it through our MLS. It's called Remine,
Remind.
Remine. Um, if you can get it, I would get it. It's a tremendous help.
Why do you like it?
So you can search, you can map search, and get all of the information, and filter things out. So I can go into a neighborhood and search homeowners who have at least $80,000 equity, who have owned the home for at least 10 years, who have like you can search by mortgage age. You can, when you're farming, it can really save you time
Mm,
and money, and you can really focus on your farming list of who you should be going after and contacting. When you click on them, it gives
okay.
you mortgage balances, it gives you their interest rate, it gives you, are they owner occupant? Is it an absentee? It gives you
Wow.
all the information you need, and you can save these lists and you can send out postcards and letters directly from Remine.
Oh, really?
We
You can use it like that?
Yes, I print out labels, so I save my list. If I'm sending something out on my own, I can like quickly just print out address labels in like a second. It
Okay.
does so many amazing things. I love it.
Very cool. All right. So Remine. And if I'm a real estate agent, I should know what Remine is and I should have access to it. Correct?
You should. Our MLS has a contract with them. I don't
Okay.
know if it's that way. I don't know if you may be able to join independently. I would definitely look into it. I'd bring it up to your to your board too if you don't have it, and
Okay.
see what they can do to get it, because it's incredibly useful.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right, friends, here's the challenge. Open up your Google business profile, GBP, right now. As soon as you hit stop on this interview, open it up, update it, tweak it, send us a screenshot. Send it. You're going to have my contact information. Obviously, you're going to have Julie's contact information. Send us a screenshot. We would love to know if we added something added some kind of value to you today. In fact, I'll even go this far. We'll audit it for you. I don't know if Julie will. I just volunteered her, but I would be more than happy because I'm learning a lot from Julie, and I already got her course downloaded. So send it to us. We would love to audit it. We would just love to see if we made a difference. It essentially is kind of where we're going with that. All of Julie's contact information is going to be in the description below. Also going to include a link to her step by step how to tackle this thing and knock it into the next stratosphere. So all of this is going to be available to you, and it's all free. So big thanks to you, Julie, for dropping some major gold today and showing us what's possible with another platform that's free that literally everybody is going to. So thank you so much for carving out some time to collaborate with Cole. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Happy to help for sure.